What's up? What's up? What's up, you guys? What's going on? What's happening? It's Trey Wynn from Birmingham, Alabama, coming to you guys with another successful story about how to rebuild, repair, and restore your life. And guess what, you guys? It's at the end of the year. Well, a lot of people, come after Christmas to take their journeys of life to the next level because New Year's is right behind What's up, you guys? What's going on? What's happening? And it's Trey Wynn from Birmingham, Alabama, coming to you guys with another successful story about how to rebuild, repair, and restore your life. And guess what, you guys? It's at the end of the year. Well, a lot of people, come after Christmas to take their journeys of life to the next level because New Year's is right behind. What's up, you guys? What's going on? What's happening? And it's Trey Wynn from Birmingham, Alabama, coming to you guys with another successful story. All right, you guys. Yeah, I'm back, man. I'm back. And better than ever, better than before. Back. And I'm better than ever. I'm better than before. So, a lot of you guys may have a lot of credit related questions that takes your credit journey to a downward slope. Maybe you have fear in investing in a credit repair company or a credit repair fitness, a credit repair specialist to help you navigate some of the confusing things about credit repair to help, just coach your journey to a sweet success and a sweet victory, giving you some good expectations of what it actually takes to take your credit repair or your credit worthiness to the next level. Like I said again, my name is Trey Wynn, and I'm from Birmingham, Alabama, and this is Lit Financial Solutions. You guys reached the Entrepreneur Empowerment Challenge webinar split off. Well, we got um I tip 50 people signing up for this program to take and elevate their life to greatness. And we just want to hear your success story. We teaching you all the game about how to delete negative items off of your credit report for good using consumer law. And the most effective way that I've learned to delete items and keep them deleted for good and to leverage your life by leveraging your credit. So, having that said, you guys, what is credit? Credit is when you got the ability to go to a lender and go apply for that credit, and they let you borrow the money and now you owe them some money, right? And that's just simplified in the terms that we understand. I would get technical, but tonight we're not getting technical. It's New Year's Eve, baby, and we about to have New Year's in a short, man, maybe like 5 hours or 4 hours and some change. We about to have New Year's, so you guys, I hope you guys got y'all cups. I hope y'all got everything that y'all need, because Trey ain't just coming with his suit on. Trey just coming to let y'all know that life is amazing and your life could be amazing. Take advantages of everything that God got for you, because you never know when somebody throw a great offer like the one that's on this table. Now, I want you guys to know that the first 50 people take advantage to this Zoom meeting, this YouTube live, will receive a free invitation to getting a credit restoration and also mentorship with me, Trey Wynn, and teaching you today about permissible purpose. Permissible purpose would be the initial greeting on your credit report when people start just like pulling your credit report to see why they want to deal with you in the first place. Permissible purpose is not permission. Permissible purpose is, what was like the reason? What was the purpose? What's the purpose of you procuring this consumer report in the first place? Was it a business transaction? Was it insurance underwriting, or was it for employment? And so now we see that these are the legitimate reasons that we would take on to permissible purpose. We use these kindly and wisely to our benefits to remove negative reporting items off our credit reports for good. And now for some more reason, I'm having this issue that I did not just have in the first place. And so I need to see just share the screen. All right, so if I'm gonna share the screen like that, we're gonna go back and share the screen like this. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna share the screen like that and like this. So we're gonna go ahead and dive in your credit score. You know, the 5 factors that's affecting your credit score. We all know about the payment history. You know, it takes up 35% timely payments of your credit account. Your credit utilization takes up about 30% of your credit score. So payment history is, you know, you paying on time or paying late. How often you pay on time, how often you pay late. If you're never late, that's a wonderful, wonderful status to have. And if you never pay late for 10 plus years, that's an extraordinary um status to have. Credit utilization is, you know, the experience that you had with other, financial institutions, the amount of credit, you know, that they would let you use and things of that nature, and you know how you just gonna role play this and take this and use that utilization. How much have you been using on this credit? How much do you pay back? So you got length of credit. We got length of credit right here. And so length of credit is gonna deal with 15%. It's how long your credit, you know, been surviving in this crazy, crazy, crazy cold world. You got credit mix, which is 10%. And your credit mix is gonna be the variety of accounts that you got, like credit card account, auto loan account, your home account. How many of these accounts do you got? How many do you use towards your greatness and things of that nature? Having that said, man, let's take a dive into the Fair Credit Reporting Act. And let's outline some of these rules and regulations on the Fair Credit Reporting Act. So, what do we know right now about the Fair Credit Reporting Act? The Fair Credit Reporting Act outlines rules, restrictions, and guidelines pertaining to consumer credit reports, credit privacy, and credit checks. All creditors, like landlords, lenders, and banks, can only request pool credit information from credit bureaus if they do so with a permissible purpose. So if they have a permissible purpose, then they can procure your consumer report. They can use it for that purpose. Okay. Whatever purpose that is, we're gonna dive off into this chapter and we're gonna let you know exactly what that purpose is. All right, so as I scroll down, y'all, we talk about new credit. New credit takes up about 10%. And so that's the last five of the bohemians. I ain't want y'all to just thought I was gonna leave y'all out on that. So the new credit will take up 10% of your credit score. It makes up 10% of your credit score. Recent credit inquiries and new accounts. You want to be applying for those accounts every year on time. Let the people know that hey, you do want to borrow that money. You see what I'm saying? Or your own money. in that case, in that nature. So let's take it a little further. Today, you guys, we're gonna talk about today let's take a deep dive into what permissible purpose is under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, or the FCRA, what it means, and what to do if your credit information is retrieved without a permissible purpose. So if your credit information was retrieved without a permissible purpose, what can you do about it in order to correct this information, to get the inaccurate information from being reported on your consumer report that's not supposed to be in there in the first place? Because we all know that fair credit reporting directly impairs the banking system, and if they don't report it accurately, then it wouldn't be fair to us. So, what is permissible purpose? All right, let's take a dive in. How you gonna achieve success with permissible purpose and you don't know where to find it at? Okay. So here go right here on the silver platter. This is where you find the permissible purpose section at. And like I said, you guys, we're gonna dive way into this. And I'm so excited to give you guys this blueprint of permissible purpose and how it's gonna go down and how we're gonna use this to our greatness in 2025. This is gonna be one of the most amazing events you ever saw. So take your seats, get your cups of liquor, get your bud, and let's get ready to toast this night up to greatness. All right. So, according to the Fair Credit Reporting Act, a permissible purpose is a circumstance or situation in which a credit reporting agency, like one of the big credit bureaus, is legally allowing to provide consumer credit information to a creditor, like a lender. Similarly, a permissible purpose includes any circumstances where a creditor can request information about a consumer or an applicant. So if you're a consumer, you're an applicant, you're requesting that you want some credit, so they can pull your information, and this is why they can do that. So it says, according to the Fair Credit Reporting Act, or the FCRA, a permissible purpose is any circumstance or situation in which a credit reporting agency, which is like Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, like one of the big credit reporting bureaus. They call them bureaus, but it's credit reporting agencies. Is legally allowed to provide consumer credit information to creditors, like a lender. Similarly, a permissible purpose includes any circumstances where a creditor can request information. So when they're requesting your information, it has to be a permission for this. All right. And let's give some examples of this situation when they're requesting this information, you guys. And I'm gonna go on a quick break after that. I just want to give this example, and I want you guys to think about it and go on a quick break. So, for example, if a mortgage loan company wants to know whether to underwrite a loan or an applicant, they may request information from the credit bureaus. That's a permissible purpose, since the applicant credit information is a feasible important data point in this decision. So since the applicant credit information is a feasible important data point in this decision, that's a permissible purpose. For an example, if a mortgage loan company wants to know whether to underwrite a loan for an applicant, they may request information from the credit bureaus. That's a permissible. They may request information from the credit bureaus. So that's a permissible purpose, since the applicant's credit information is a feasible important data point in this decision. So your credit information was very important in making this decision, because without your information, the decision could have never been made. So we diving off into permissible purpose and how understanding permissible purpose is gonna better your life when people reporting inaccurate interest on your credit report. So for another example, y'all, we're gonna give you another example. For another example, a credit bureau may not provide credit information about a consumer because their parents asked for it. That's not a permissible purpose since there's no good reason for the consumer's parent to have access to their credit information. Wow, you guys. So if you are a consumer and you have a mom or a dad, your mom or dad is not being your mom or dad is not a permissible purpose. It's not a legitimate reason to procure your consumer report or to pull your consumer report. So that's a very genuine understanding that who has permission or who has the purpose, how to collect this purpose and pulling your consumer report. What is it for? What is it used for? We got to get the understanding. Why do we need permissible purpose to protect us when we doing our business dealings? All right. Let's go on a little further. Promise I'm not going to keep you guys long. And if you guys stay to the very end, I have something very nice for each and every last one of you guys. I want you guys to be able to join and access our programs hands down and win. So stay to the very end. And I promise you guys, I got you guys some well-rounded literature for you guys to take your life to the next level. So let's talk about it. The key elements of permissible purpose. Let's talk about it, y'all. Go back up. For another example, a credit bureau may not provide credit information about a consumer because their parents asked for it. That's not a permissible purpose since there's no good reason for the consumer's parent to have access to their credit information. There's no good reason for your parents to have access to your information. The key elements of permissible purpose, you guys. Y'all got to understand what it is to have a permissible purpose to procure your consumer report to know where they violated in this process, okay? Thank you, guys. There are two primary elements to all permissible purpose as outlined by the Fair Credit Reporting Act or the FCRA. The information requested is consumer specific, that is, the requested information is about individual and credit history, not about an entire group of credit information about people related to them. Because of this element, credit bureaus, CRAs, may release credit information unless it believes the information only pertains to the subject of the request. So if this information does not pertain to the subject of the request, that's not a permissible purpose for them to use that in your benefit. So the information requested is consumer specific. That is, the requested information is about one individual and their credit history, not about an entire group or the credit information about people related to them. Because of this element, credit bureaus, CRAs, may only release credit information unless it believes the information only pertains to the subject of the release or the request. So it has to pertain to the subject of the request, you guys. And there's more documents on this anyway. So the information is necessary for a valid purpose. So what purpose is this information was valid for? This touches on Tobias. I'm gonna need you to stop, son. Okay. This information is necessary for a valid purpose. This touches only what was broken down about. Creditors can't request. Screw me, y'all. This information is necessary for a valid purpose. This touches on what was broken down above. Creditors can't request credit information for no good reason, and credit bureaus can't release the information unless they believe the reason for the request is valid. So if they don't have a valid request for this information, then they can't release your information to the furnisher or the data or whoever's trying to procure your consumer report. They must have a permissible purpose. Okay. Now let's go even deeper in this. For instance, if a lender wants to check the credit, if the lender wants to trace the credit of a loan applicant, they can request information because they only want information for the loan applicant specifically. So, if it's loan specific and it's specifically related to the applicant, they can accept that information, right? And if y'all want this document, go ahead and let me know, and I can send y'all this document. This document, amongst other things, that'll help you on your way to delete and names that don't belong to you, numbers that don't belong to you, emails that don't belong to you, employments that don't belong to you, hard inquiries that was put on you that you did not authorize, a lot of different other stuff, because a lot of times they procure your consumer report. You need some key ground information to have this stuff reporting on your name, and they'll destroy your name and you won't even have the item that you was looking for in the first place. And so we want to help protect you by educating you on what it takes to keep your credit report strong and ready for action. So they want the information to determine the loan applicant's creditworthiness as it relates to a specific loan application. So as your loan relates to a specific loan application, that's what they pull in your permission. That's what they're giving permissible purpose for. That's the permissible purpose in pulling in your consumer report. So examples of permissible purpose as defined by the Fair Credit Reporting Act or the LCRA. They want the information to determine the loan applicant's creditworthiness as it relates to a specific loan applicant. Have you guys had your information stolen at any given time and you noticed that it was stuff on your credit that you didn't authorize? Maybe your mom, your dad, your cousin, your auntie put a cable bill, light bill, or a phone bill in your name, and they didn't really complete that transaction, and now it's reporting negative information on your name. Is this you? Click this link below to join our free challenge on how you can stop credit reporting agencies from reporting inaccurate data on your name. Let's take a deeper dive in on examples of permissible purpose as defined by the FCRA. Fortunately for both consumers and creditors alike, the Fair Credit Reporting Act includes a list of all permissible purposes currently recognized under the law. It's located in the Fair Credit Reporting Act section 604, permissible purpose. Includes. So what does this section include? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the beefs and the meats of this section, y'all. Why permissible purpose is so important for us to learn and know and share with our families, so our families can have access to, better credit, better journey, better future, better finances. So being ordered by a court or federal grand jury subpoena. So, if it's ordered by a court or federal grand jury subpoena, they can have your consumer report. They can procure your consumer report. Those are one of the reasons right there. Let's keep it going. Upon instructions by a legal consumer in writing, IG, consumers can always request their own credit information. So if you are the consumer to whom the report relates, you can request your information. And if you see something that's not accurate, is not complete, is not valid, it's not validated, you can ask for the validation process. You can ask for the information required to make this process right. And they have to give it to you. Or they have to delete this information for inaccuracies or incompleteness or unverified or unvalidated information. And those things that you can sue about. So for decisions related to the extension of credit or the review or collection of a consumer's credit account. So if they need to make a decision related to an extension of credit or the review or collection of a consumer's credit account. Now, for decisions related to the extension of credit or review or to review it. So it's related to the extensions of credit or is to review the credit, or if it's in collections of this credit or the consumer's credit account. So that's what they can procure your consumer report for your credit report. If they try to look at your credit report, they can do that. And then say that they can do it to deny you or to see if they want to deny you or to see if you can be approved. I need my cup now. And I also need that blunt roll. So guess what? We getting so hot up in here, man. We about to get it started for the 2025. I want y'all to know that 2025 is my health journey. 2025 is my get my mind right journey. My get more focused journey. Every day. I want y'all here with me every day. The first 90 days until my birthday, man. March 29th. Shout out to me. Man, I've been grinding since I've been free from federal penitentiary. And today I just love motivating people. I actually love motivating myself because I see that I go through things myself and I be like, self, man, you can do this. You can make it to the next level and actually benefit. So I'm gonna say, sweet, young, beautiful lady, Miss Brittany. Is this my cup right here?
It is.
Thank you so much for that. And so I have a cup of New Year's resolution. And you guys know, boy, I get caught when we get started. So listen, you guys, as we dig a little deep, we done found out that if it's for the extension of credit that they can pull your consumer report or they need to review something for a collection or something like that. Now we also find out that, you know, after we look back, that if it's for what they say employment, for employment purposes like hiring and or promoting decisions, but only if consumers gives written permission. But so now they saying if you are an employer, the consumer got to give you permission to promote these things to them. Now, again, if you just stepping in, you know, and I hope people ain't on the breakout page because if y'all are, man, I did send this stuff out. But listen, I'm making a Zoom about this. This one I'm excited about because I know I got it recorded. It's recording. I know it's on YouTube and it's on YouTube. And what I'm about to do with this video is help so many Birminghamians take it to the next level. And I know that. And I'm gonna help a lot of people in the world take it to the next level. Because this is something from me to you guys. And this is something that I know that like you guys need in order to take y'all financial freedom to the next level. Some people need that jump. Some people need to know how to scale. So which one you need? You need that boost in your credit or you need that business education to help you take it to the next level. Oh man, and I got a plate to go with this drink. I better take this plate down first. So for employment purposes, like hiring and or promoting decisions, but only if the consumer gives written permission. So if they take the information and the consumer does not give written permission, and they let you know that the consumer has to give written permission. So if they don't have that written permission to do these things, then guess what? They need to stop doing it. Now let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. when deciding on underwriting insurance policies, upon receiving an application from a consumer, when deciding on underwriting insurance policies, upon receiving an application from a consumer. So if you're a consumer and you planning on getting you some underwriting done for your insurance, that's when they can procure your consumer report. So we talked about the three major things, the three major reasons why uh, somebody can procure, why the consumer reporting, the CFPB can, or the bureaus can pass your information, your data, to a furnisher of data. If they don't have this permissible purpose, then they are violating your consumer rights. And just because they are a financial institution doesn't make it right. The reporting of that data is causing you damage. And they don't have a permissible purpose, and they did not file correctly in order to do these things to you in the first place. So if you're gonna report something, make sure you report it good on my name. I mean, if it's gonna be me, I want somebody to report good information about me, baby. So let's keep it going, man. When there is a legitimate business purpose and it's in connection with a business transaction initiated by the consumer. Hear that clearly. When there is a legitimate business purpose and it's in connection with the business transaction initiated by the consumer, e.g., a business need to check credit for a line of credit application when a consumer wants to purchase a new car. Y'all got contracts that saying that y'all cars was for business purposes. So when there is a legitimate business purpose and it's in connection with a business transaction initiated by the consumer, e.g., a business needs to check credit for a business line of credit application when a consumer wants to purchase a car. So now those are the reasons that they need. If it's a business need, so if the consumer want to purchase a car, there go your business need. So listen here. Let's keep it going. When an organization needs to determine a consumer's eligibility for a license or any other benefit granted by the governmental instrumentality as required by law, or when considering an applicant's financial status or responsibility. Those are some key reasons why a financial institution can procure your consumer report. If they don't have these key reasons, they cannot procure your consumer report under no circumstances. No judge is going to back them up. So let's keep it going, you guys. When a potential investor or service or needs information to value or asset, the credit and or prepayment risk for an existing credit obligation. Now, don't let that go over your head, okay? When a potential investor or service or needs information to value or assess the credit and or prepayment risk for an existing credit obligation. So when a potential investor or service or needs information to value or access the credit and or prepayment, the prepayment of a thing, how they prepay something. I'm about to eat this food on y'all. this new year. Mm, 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 mm. I told y'all this is a party, man. Never mind the background, baby. We got our cups and we doing good. You hear me? And I want y'all to do good too. So, mm, 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 mm. When a potential investor or service or needs information, valuable or accessible, the credit needs information to value or access the credit and or prepayment. What's a prepayment, y'all? How do they get prepaid? So when a potential investor or service or needs information to value or access the credit and or prepayment risk for an existing credit obligation. So if they need to do that, then they got a permissible purpose. When state and local or when state and or local officials need to determine child support payments or the modification and enforcement rule for existing child support payments. Given this list, it is usually fairly easy for both consumers and creditors to determine whether they have a permissible purpose to request or give out credit information. So if they don't have a permissible purpose to give out your credit information, they just violated your consumer rights, which means that they need to be sued. And if they violate your consumer rights and somebody used their information to destroy your credit worthiness, meaning that you couldn't apply for credit because this information was being reported. Now you have legal damages that you had been caused, you had been you had received. You received damages from these people because you wasn't even able to move forward with your lifespan and to do the things that you needed to do for you and your family. So now it's time to take them to court and get that money that you could have got had you been rolling like you need to be rolling in the first place. I told y'all the secret's in the middle of here. So if y'all understand what I'm saying, I'm telling y'all how to sue these people and win. You see what I'm saying? We'll teach y'all how to sue these people and win. So, given the list, it is usually fairly easy for both consumers and creditors to determine whether they have a permissible purpose to request or give out credit information. If they don't have that information, they can't just get out of their information like that. Think it's all cool. Now let's go give out some more examples, y'all. I want y'all to understand permissible purpose. So I'm just giving y'all a bunch of examples about this. So y'all can get the breakdown done and ready. And y'all can read this for yourself and on your own. But I'm reading it with y'all right here, right now. On December the 31st, 2024, man, at about 7 o'clock, going on 8 o'clock, we got it going down. So where we at in this small webinar educating us about permissible purpose? For example, if you apply for a car loan. So, for example, if you apply for a car loan, you can bet that the car lender has a permissible purpose to examine your credit score. The car lender wants to know whether they can rely on you to pay back your loan on time and in full. Y'all better keep those words handy and navigated, which is they know you can pay for that all day. However, your employer does not need to know your credit score if you have already been hired and are not up for promotion. Therefore, if they want to know your credit score about, therefore, if they want to know your credit score, but are cagey about the reasons, you might consider denying the request unless they tell you exactly what it's for. So violations of permissible purpose. If they not telling you what they pulling your credit for, then they just violated your consumer rights and importantly the permissible purpose section of it. So unfortunately, not everyone follows the permissible purpose clauses to the letter, either intentionally or inadvertently. For instance, a creditor, like a lender, may request a consumer's credit information from a credit bureau as a preliminary measure to determine what kinds of loans they might qualify for. This is not a permissible purpose since it is not in conjunction with a specific loan application. I'm gonna read that again to you guys. For instance, a credit like a lender may request a consumer's credit information from a credit bureau as preliminary measure to determine what kinds of loans they may qualify for. This is not a permissible purpose since it is not in conjunction with a specific loan application. So somebody trying to pull your credit to see, hey man, can you get a house, a car, this, that, and the third? They don't even know why you want the credit. You gotta have a reason. You gotta have a reason why you want the credit. They gotta be able to go to them and say, hey man, well, this person looking to get a house, a car, a business line of credit, or they trying to get insurance underwriting or something like that, and they need their credit pulled. And once they tell the bureaus that the bureau should be able to provide them your information. Well, if they don't provide them your if they don't give them that information, they can't provide your information to them. So, however, the credit bureaus that receives the request might improve it without looking too hard at the reason for the request. So sometimes it slips across their desk and they don't look at the real reason why this company is asking for your information. So they was able to access your credit report without a permissible purpose, which violated your consumer rights in the first place. So, however, the credit bureau that receives the request might improve it. They might improve it without looking too hard. I just showed y'all. If I did not just show y'all where y'all can get money at, right then, right there, this video is not for you. This whole chapter is not for you. And so for the request, it says in this hypothetical case, both the creditor and the credit bureau are guilty of violating the Fair Credit Reporting Act and its permissible purpose clause. So if you are a victim of this situation right here, you can get paid because your consumer report was procured and nobody knew why. Okay. Which is they're supposed to know why. Okay, so some violations happen intentionally, as in the above example, with an employer requesting credit information about an employee. Landlords or also try Landlords may also try to request credit information about tenants after they've already accepted their lease application. So now, why is your landlord asking for this information after you've been approved, after you've been in the house, after you didn't got what you wanted, what you needed? Is it a legitimate reason? Do they have a permissible purpose to pull your consumer report? Are you educated on what consumer report is and the permissible purpose that they need in order to procure that? Because in order to pull your consumer report in the first place. I want to make sure I'm doing my job while I'm eating my food. Mm, 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 mm. And yeah, this pork. And yeah, I'm done with my first cup. But the show don't stop him. Show definitely don't stop him. Some violations happen intentionally, as in the above example, with an employer requesting credit information about an employee. Landlords may also try to request credit information about tenants after they are already accepted their lease application. Understand your rights, y'all, and take y'all power back while these people using y'all names in ways that y'all don't have a clue. If your credit gets checked too many times, checked, especially hard checked, that could have a negative effect on your credit score, making it more difficult for you to qualify for future loans and other financial opportunities. Therefore, all consumers need to watch for violations of the permissible purpose clause. So if you watching your credit report, you need to understand this section. You need to understand this information. You need to understand the 604 section in the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the permissible purpose section. What does it take for them to have a permissible purpose? And did they violate your permissible purpose rights? Okay. If a creditor or a credit reporting If a creditor or a credit bureau violates the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the FCRA, and gives or requests your credit information without a permissible purpose, you have certain legal grounds and rights. So what would these legal grounds and rights to do for you? Let's talk about it. For instance, say that you discover your landlord pulled your credit information after already accepting your lease. You've lived at your apartment for 2 years and you aren't up for lease renewal yet. But when you check your credit report, you discover a record of a hard inquiry check performed by your lender. There is Since there is no permissible purpose for this, your landlord is in violation of the Fair Credit Reporting Act. You could sue your landlord for violating your rights. Any hypothetical law suit might result in monetary damages. Furthermore, you have the right to dispute the hit to your credit score that resulted from the hard credit check by filing a credit dispute letter with the credit bureaus in question. So this the credit bureaus might also be in trouble in this hypothetical example, as they're not supposed to give out credit information unless there is a permissible purpose. If your landlord requests credit information without needing it for an application, and the credit bureau accepted the request, that organization is just as responsible for the damage to your score as well. It can be tough to know whether you have grounds for legal actions or whether your rights were violated in some circumstances. However, in these cases, you're better off contact you're better off contacting knowledgeable legal representatives who can inform you of your rights and help you understand the best path forward. So, having that said, you guys, we want you guys to definitely go about navigating, getting these negative items deleted from your credit report for good. And when it comes to these items, you talking like late payments. I mean, well, you talking about hard inquiries. You talking about names, addresses, emails, and stuff like that. You talking about like, did you authorize these accounts in the first place? And if you did not, you can prove this. And if you don't have the information, they should have it on file for you. And they should have your wet signature. They should have a lot of different other stuff. And if you request a deletion because they don't give you this information, they can't be mad at you for asking for requesting for the deletion because it's your consumer report that they putting that information on. And they have to be accurate. They shall report accurate information. No inaccurate information is supposed to be reported on a consumer report or credit report. So if you face negative items, definitely join the challenge. Click the link below. It's nothing to get your credit fixed. My name is Trey Wynn, and I'm ready to see you win. Let's take 2025 and make the best journey ever. Love y'all. Have a wonderful night. I hope everybody 2024 was a blessing. If you lived to make it, hope it was a blessing. New credit, new year, new life, new money. Be a blessing to your family. Be that family. Be that person to be your credit hero. Take your credit to the next level. Take your family credit to the next level. And start winning. Big Financial Solution LLC approve all of these messages. And if you got hard inquiries or a whole bunch of different names, or if you just went to the dealership and you got like 15 inquiries put on your name, well, we need to go and check out all these legitimate reasons, these permissible purpose that these companies may or may not have had. It's deeper than you just going to the dealership and asking for a loan and they saying, hey, well, can we pull your credit report? And they go pull 15 different credit cards. Well, they go let 15 different companies get your information. The question is, why let 15 different companies get my information when you could have did the business on your own? You could have did the business on your own. And so having that said, we got this webinar did through. We'll have a webinar every week. And if you guys got any questions and answers, go ahead and feel free to ask the questions and answers now. Drop them in the comments, drop them in the chat, drop them wherever you see them. But thank you guys and have a wonderful year, man, because mine's gonna be blessed. I'm about to get loaded and have fun tonight. Oh, let's stop. First, we're gonna do is stop share.